Hey, busy moms. How are we today? So, welcome to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. Wednesday kind of comes pretty fast, but we are halfway through the week. So, this Wellness Wednesday, I wanted to talk about a topic that is probably the hardest part of like mom life and adulthood, which is figuring out what to eat all the time and preparing for dinner and just food in general. So I'm going to talk about what I do to set myself up for success. Meal planning and batch cooking are ways that I make sure that we're set up for the week as far as food so we know what's going on, and just makes life easier. Eating out is pretty expensive, and yeah, so I'm just going to talk about like batch cooking for a minute because I usually try to do batch cooking maybe 1 or possibly 2 days a week. Definitely one day for a couple hours. I try to make things that we will eat that we need. So I love my Instant Pot, and I make a lot of stuff in the Instant Pot. So I just wanted to give you some examples of some things that I will batch cook. I will make hard-boiled eggs. My kids love hard-boiled eggs. Avery loves egg salad. I put that in her lunch a lot. The other things that I will make in the Instant Pot as far as like a big batch, and I'll like put it in the fridge, or sometimes I'll even put some of what I make in the freezer. Chicken is an easy one. I do either like a whole chicken in the Instant Pot, or I will do chicken breasts. Sometimes I'll do boneless breasts and thighs, so it's kind of like a fake whole chicken. You got white meat and dark meat, and I'll shred it, and I'll freeze some of that, and then I'll also use that for the week. And you know, the meals are kind of like endless when you already have that protein ready. The amazing part about the Instant Pot too is if you forget about defrosting something, you just put it in there frozen and it'll come out just fantastic. Black beans. Black beans is another great one. You prepare like a big thing of black beans in the Instant Pot. I definitely follow more of like a digestible, certain like beans and nuts have this thing called phytic acid that basically prevents you from digesting them. Actually, nuts have it. I can't remember if that's the component in beans or not. But when I make black beans, I put a piece of seaweed in it, and it helps your body digest it. I use kombu seaweed, Kombu, and I just put some of that in it, and I'll make a huge pot of black beans, and I'll freeze some of that, and that can be used in many ways. And I'll kind of go over how I use those in some meals in just a minute. So chickpeas is another thing that I will make in the Instant Pot. I will make rice, just like a big batch of rice. Rice is another one. Rice has phytic acid in it. So rice, you're going to want to, I actually will do a huge pot of rice, soak it in water, and you want some kind of an acid in it. So I'll put some lemon juice in it, and that will break down the rice so that it is more digestible. So that's some of the prep that I do in my Instant Pot to get ready for the week. The other thing that I do is I will just like prepare stuff, right? So I will make sure we have cut vegetables in the refrigerator, right? Because that actually takes a lot of time to wash them and prep them and cut them. So I will make sure like on my day off, like Thursday or Sunday, that I'll spend just a couple moments prepping that stuff. The other thing that I like to have easily available are nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds have phytic acid, so they're going to be hard to digest unless you soak them. And there's such a difference between a raw nut and one that is soaked in salt water. What the taste and the texture is totally different. So actually in my dehydrator right now, I have some Brazil nuts that are like my favorite. I found them at Costco yesterday. But I will keep pumpkin seeds, and I can drop the recipes in the comments if you guys are interested, how to soak the nuts. And then you either slow roast them in a very low heated oven or a dehydrator. I actually love my dehydrator. I use it a lot for nuts and like making just like dehydrated veggies and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I have in my pantry, because when we go to meal planning, that kind of makes sense. Hummus, keep like hummus or some kind, I know. Oh, Melissa. Yes, my dad, when I was teaching him how to soak nuts, it was just this ongoing joke that he wouldn't let go, but it was super funny. So yes, I will teach you how to soak your nuts. So I also keep like some kind of a dip or something for the vegetables. So either like a hummus, sometimes I'll make my own spinach dip, which my family loves. I often will make chicken salad. So with the chicken that I've prepared in the Instant Pot, I will make chicken salad, you know, and I'll serve that with some kind of a grain-free cracker. I love Simple Mills. Those are our favorite. And then the veggies. And chicken salad is great because you can make it a bunch of different ways, right? So I will sometimes make a curry chicken salad, or, you know, just a chicken salad with like almonds and grapes and stuff like that. And that will also go in Avery's lunch. It's very good, like lunch food. Tuna salad, egg salad. Smoked salmon dip is delicious. My family loves that, so I make that a lot. So I like to try to have stuff in the refrigerator, like snacking food, because listen, we all have kids. Don't they love a good snack? Drives me nuts sometimes, but I love to have that stuff available, like those healthy snacks. So I'm giving them, you know, like a couple carrots, a little bit of hummus, maybe some crackers, maybe some cut up fruit. So making sure that the choices that I'm making for them are healthy choices. And convenience food, like I know it is convenient, but sometimes it's just not the best for us. But what we can do is set ourselves up for convenience. And that's basically the whole premise of batch cooking. Another thing I do to make my mornings easy is I make and freeze breakfast muffins. So I will do like a pumpkin muffin, a banana muffin, blueberry muffin, zucchini muffins. I will make a batch or two of those, and then I will just put them on I'll save some out for us to eat, and then I'll put them on a tray, freeze them, and then I put them in a bag so that they don't clump together. But those are fantastic for the morning. And usually what I use as the base of those, like they do have eggs in them, and I am using some kind of like nut or seed butter. So I have several recipes for those. If you're interested, we could definitely expand upon that, because that's just one thing that I love to do. I grew up cooking, so I love to get my kids involved. They definitely eat more stuff. And I always make sure that they like, even if they think they don't like something, they have to taste test it, right? So you have to try it and like try it, see if you like it. If you don't, that's okay. You tried it. Good job. So along with all that stuff that I make, I try to set us up for meals. Some weeks, this is way harder than other weeks, but I'm going to tell you kind of like my formula of like it's like a very boring, but a constant rotation. So it really makes it super easy. At least one night a week we're doing Mexican. My husband, Ted, loves tacos. Ted could do tacos anytime. So sometimes I make tacos. I love the Seats brand. They're grain-free. They make taco shells. They make nachos. I don't do the best with corn, so I buy those, and my family cannot tell the difference. They are delicious. So tacos, taco salad, nachos, enchiladas. Like I make just something like that one night a week. One night is always salad night. so when I make that, fresh chicken or the hard-boiled eggs and the cut veggies, it is so easy to just throw a salad together and call it a day. I sometimes do make my own dressings, and then there are a couple brands that I really like and prefer because of the quality of ingredients. Pasta salad is a great one, or pasta in general. I usually use chickpea pasta. So pasta salad, I do like to make like a cold salad, and sometimes that goes well with, a roasted veggie or whatever we're having. And then I love a good casserole, right? So sometimes I use rice in casseroles, sometimes I use cauliflower rice, but those are like a make ahead, and my husband doesn't cook, so he does clean, so that's a bonus. But on a night where I'm working late, I like to have something already in there so that he could just and I will leave instructions on a Post-it note on top of the casserole, just letting him know 400 degrees, 20 minutes, pop it in, and we have dinner. It really makes it so easy. And I definitely try to make enough so that I can have leftovers. I always pack my lunch for work. So that is very helpful. Quick meals at night, I tend to go to fish. I do a local fish buy, and scallops, salmon, any kind of fish literally can be prepared in about 10 minutes flat. So those are some of my meal planning, batch cooking secrets. I probably have so much more because this is definitely one area that I try to make sure that we are eating a lot of meals from home, because you know what is in the food, you know what's in the ingredients. And I know that's not the norm for a lot of us, but I like to go by an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I'm doing very well with my diet. I'm eating those things I know that I should be eating. So lots of veggies, tend to think of meat as a condiment. And then 20% of the time I get a little give. I have a little play, right? Because we can't be perfect all the time. We have to have some grace for ourselves. And honestly, it is hard. It is very difficult to, either work outside of the house or stay at home with your kids, clean, cook, laundry, all of that stuff takes so much time. So there are some weeks that you just have to let one of those things go, right? And some weeks for me, it's frozen pizzas and we're having a salad so I can feel decent. But, you really have to just try to do your best. So hopefully this gave you guys some tips on how to set your food week up for success. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I probably could expand upon this topic just because I have so much good information. Any recipe questions, I'd love to hear those too. And if you have a mom friend who could benefit from some of this information that we share in the group, please invite her in. And I hope you all have a fabulous Wednesday. So have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in.